guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do an unboxing for the Mr. Tackle Box Bass Elite. This is the one I do every month. This is for the month of January, and like I said in the other one, what I think I'm going to do, and I have the other box sitting over there somewhere with December wrote on it last month. I'm going to do these the slams for these unboxings when I have open water. So probably in spring, or maybe just when I get time in the summer. Tournament stuff gets kicked up right away in the spring, so I might not be able to get to it right away, but that's what I'm going to do with these boxes. I'm going to save these boxes, and I will try to complete the slam in the summer. That way you guys can see these baits in action. I'll jump right into this box here. One thing to note, this is a new box for MTB. Looks pretty cool. I like the different design, and just seeing some of the new boxes that that they have every once in a while. I don't know if this is a special edition box or if this is going to be what it is from now on, but it's pretty cool. So first one out of this box here, we got the Lunker Hunt wire arm finesse spinner. It's got the it's a quarter ounce, 3-inch swim baits. It comes pre-rigged with 2 spare plastics. This thing, it's of course it's in the white color, and I haven't used this before. I do actually have one already in the box here, or in the boat, and I've been trying to get it out and use it, but I haven't had a chance to use it yet. What I see this used for really well is pressure bodies of water, of course, with largemouth and smallmouth. But what I'm really gonna try and use it for is smallmouth, and over these rocky areas, and say reefs, and just all areas where there's a lot of rock, and trying to get a little bit of a finesse spinnerbait bite going. And I think that the smallmouth would go crazy. I don't know if they're going to go crazy for it, but I feel like it'd be a pretty good bait for them, and I haven't tried it for them yet. So that's one thing that I want to do. That's what we're going to do for the slam. So I'll make sure that we find ourselves in a body of water that has smallmouth, and see if we can't get them to crush this thing. Other than where I want to throw over rocks. This is super versatile. It's kind of like a spinnerbait. You can throw it within weedy areas. It's a little bit lighter wire, so you want to be careful how heavy of cover that you throw it in. But throw it in and out of weed edges, docks, down deep weed edges. It is a quarter ounce. You can just throw a little bit lighter line. You stay on the outer edges of the weeds. You can get it down on the deeper weed lines. And this might be a sneaky little bait that would get some pretty good bites. So that's a good little bait there to give it a shot. We'll go with the big gun almost right out of the gate, the second bait. So I was surprised to see this bait in here. This is already one of my favorite baits, so you get to see me use these before. Not so much the loaded one, just kind of gave it away. Bass Mafia 6-inch loaded swim bait. This is the what is the weight? Well, I know it's the albino color. This says deep, so when it says deep, it's the heavier weighted. Some of these, the weights aren't that far off, but this doesn't tell me the weight itself. But it says deep, so you're not going to want to throw this in super shallow water. I would still throw it in about 4 or 5 feet deep of water and keep a steady retrieve. I mean, I've done it. So, the albino, you see me throw this bait. It's just with this bait without the unloaded version. So you've seen me have a lot of success. If you see my previous videos, I've had a lot of success with the albino color dangerous swim bait. This thing gets me a ton of bites, big bites too. Love throwing this in the spring, pre-spawn for largemouth. They crush it, and it's not like a little tap, oh no, my line's heavy. It's a big thump, and they're on there, and then you just set the hook. So I like to throw these with no less than 17-pound line for a 5 and a 6-inch. But when I go for a 7, and they got an 8 to 8.5 inch coming out here. But if I'm going to go a 7 or 8 and 8.5 inch, anything bigger than that, I'm going to go 20-pound fluorocarbon line. I don't typically like to go 25. I typically don't like to go 25-pound fluorocarbon line because I have a problem throwing that line, I always get bird's nest and everything. You just backlash the crap out of it. So I try to stay away from that. That's my error. You know, it's just me. But this bait is really, I love this bait so far. I mean, and we're gonna throw it, and I have no doubt. I have big confidence in this bait. We're gonna get bit. But you know, this bait, you know, throw it anywhere. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's not like weedless, but you can throw it in and out of weeds, and just as long as you slow roll it and don't. And if you feel a little like grab onto, like say like a weed stem, just pull, just keep pulling, and then just snap it, just twitch just a little bit and pop it. Sometimes it'll pop right free, and then you could get. Sometimes you'll get a really big reaction bite from that. I like throwing this around in and out of weed cover. Really, it's been my biggest producer. And weed edges, deep weed edges, shallow weed edges too. You know, whether if it's you know, they're emergent or submergent weed edges, this bait excels very well. Over rocks, you know, and around wood cover too. So this thing is super versatile. Very, very good bait. And I'm only saying it because I've used it, and so I'm excited to use this in the slam. We're gonna get bit for sure. Okay, next one. Go from the highest of highs to the, I shouldn't say lowest of lows. That's wrong. But we're gonna go really big to really little. Spear point hooks. These are the sizes smaller. Oh, well, the 3/0 size. You guys have seen me use them before. They're sharp hooks, and they work pretty good. I like them. I don't stock them in my boat, but they work really good. So we'll give those a shot. I'm gonna dig in the box because I know what's down in the bottom. So what we're probably gonna do with those hooks, I don't know. We're stretching it. I was just gonna say, well, I was going to try and use those hooks with this plastic. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, just because the plastic is so small. Oddly enough, this is the only bag of plastics we got in this box, which is okay. You'll see why. See why it's okay. But this is a Lunker Hunt. What is it? The Hive Hover Shot. There's 8 of them in the pack. Looks like it's like a silver with a blue flake. It's this shad color. These are 3.5 inch. Really good little drop shot bait. I can see it. I haven't used them before, but it looks like a really good little drop shot bait, Ned head, you know, that kind of style. And this thing, I can definitely see it getting bit very well. So I'm going to throw it, like I said, on a drop shot or a Ned head, in and out of weed edges and stuff like that, around rocks, boulders, you know, in wood cover too. You know, just be careful how close you get to heavy cover, because if you're throwing this, you're typically throwing lighter line and more of a finesse style gear. So you want to make sure that you're not in heavy cover. And if you are, just be careful. But yeah, I do see this getting bit. All right, next one out of here, we got my favorite kind of jigs, black and blue jigs. It's by Hack Attack, by Greg Hackney. And it's his Select Series swim jig. I haven't seen these before. It says made in Costa Rica. Okay, well that's new. I didn't. Okay, that's new. This is still by Strike King. It's a jungle series swim black. Yeah, well that's good. Yeah, pretty good. I mean, I've used his style of swim jigs before, and they are really good. I have no complaints with them. And this one says it is made with. It says the Owner Jungle Flipping Hook. So, I mean, I have Owner hooks in my box, and Owner hooks are really good hooks too. So, you know, this is a swim jig with, it's got a pretty heavy, it's got a stout hook. So, because it's kind of like it's a swim jig, but I can see it as being able to, you know, flip in and pitch in heavy cover as well too. And I will. We'll throw this in the thick cover with 50-pound braid. I promise you that. That's what's going to happen with this. And we're going to get bit for sure. This is I have a lot of confidence in black and blue, and I really like throwing these swim jigs in and out of cover. mostly weed cover or pads and sparse weed cover, and then deep weed lines. That's my favorite. Throw them around docks too, but if I'm throwing around docks, typically I'm changing up my color a little bit, but black and blue does work around docks. I have gotten pretty decent bites, but on a pressure body of water, I will typically go with like a green pumpkin style or color jig. But looks like a pretty solid jig there. We're gonna get bit on that for sure. Let's just keep going with the jigs. So we got a heavy metal tungsten flipping jig. This is the Texas craw color. So it's kind of like it's got a black and tan style skirt with some green pumpkin head, I believe. It's hard to see. Black, dark, either a dark green pumpkin to a black head, jig head. And I mean, this looks like a pretty good bait yet too. Another pretty good jig. I haven't used this jig before, but I do use heavy metal tungsten, weights and stuff. Which, I mean, it's not jig related. So they got good quality lures. So I'm excited to use this. I haven't used this one before. This is 3/4 ounce, which is perfect because that's what I like to throw when I'm going to throw in heavy cover, and in and out of shoot, I'll throw 3/4 ounce around docks too. So, but mainly I'm going to throw this in and out of heavy weed cover and pads. 3/4 ounce, flipping style jig. I like to pop and punch down through pads and those canopies there too. I get some pretty good bites from that. So that's another good jig out of the box there. All right, now we've got a jerk bait here from G-Rat Baits. It's a suspending jerk bait from. I'm reading it as we're going because I haven't even opened this box yet. I haven't really looked at it closely, anyways. But got mustad hooks. I'm not sure what the color is. The color looks kind of different. It says bean green. Kind of like the color. It's got a reflective belly, a little bit of a chrome belly. If I can, there we go. But it's got a reflective belly, and it says its depth is 0.8 to 1.2 meters. So yeah, I don't know. It's a shallow diving crankbait or jerk bait. So you're looking between 2 to 4 feet is what it's really going to dive to. So, and I don't know, I don't know what that. I'm not going to convert meters right now because I just don't know. But this is a shallow diving jerk bait, and it's probably going to be around 2 to 4 feet, maybe 5. But I don't know. The color looks like it still get bit. I mean, it looks like it's got a pretty good shad shape to it. And what I'm going to throw this is down tapering points. Of course, they're not going to get too deep down the points, but you can start up higher up on the points in shallow areas as the fish, because in the mornings when the fish move up on those points, they're going to move up shallower to feed on bait fish, and that's where I'm going to throw this. And then also too, when they move off the points, move down the tapering part of the point, if they're hovering and they're up in the mid part of the water column, I will still throw this. I mean, it's only going to get down 4 feet, but they can see that in the water, depending on your water clarity, of course. But looks like a pretty good little jerk bait here. So looks like we're going to get bit, but we'll see. We'll see in the next. I can't say next year because we're already in 2025, but we'll see when we do the slam. Now the last bait in the box is the Googan Squad Mini Zinger. Okay, I was looking for the weight. 1/4 ounce weight. Or it's a 1/4 ounce spinner bait. So this is their mini spinner bait. It's the Mini Zinger, and this thing, it's the Sunrise Craw color. I don't throw the Sunrise Craw color enough for a spinner bait, but it does get. I like to throw it in the spring or in the fall, just because sometimes it's like the color of the craws is what I'm looking for. They're more reddish and orange tint typically, but this is if I'm going to be doing that, I'm throwing it more towards the bottom, and when they're hitting this, they're not really anticipating hitting a craw, because craws don't really swim like this with big blades, more of a bait fish. So I'm also trying to imitate bluegills, And it's kind of tough to imitate a bluegill like that. But what that's gonna imitate a little bit more is a sunfish. And you know, they're the same family, but they're brighter, kind of like what this is. So wherever I see sunfish is where I'm going to throw this bait. 1/4 ounce. So this is more of a finesse style spinner bait. I'm going to throw this. I am still going to throw this in around weed cover and around heavy cover, but not in it. So you want to be careful because it's got lighter wires on here. So if you get it stuck in heavy cover, you could very well lose this bait and the fish, or the fish, you know, whatever, all together. And so this bait, around that cover, and docks, you know, I mean, weed edges, weed lines, submerge, emerge, you know, it's a spinner bait, so it is super versatile. You can throw almost anywhere. So that's another good bait out of the box. And of course, we got a little decal here, little popper, and then, you know, the MTB, you know, you just scan the code, get tips on the baits. But that's it, guys. That's the mystery tackle box, Bass Elite box for the month of January. Pretty solid box. I really like this box. I like the contents in it, and I think we're gonna catch a lot of fish out of this box, to be honest with you, with all those baits. I don't have any worry in the world, so I'm excited to throw this box. I'm excited to not throw the box. I'm excited to do the slam for this box for you know, when we get open water. But all right, guys, thanks again for sticking around for this this installment of unboxings for the mystery tackle box, and I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.